What's going on, guys? Nova here, obviously. Today I'm giving you guys a video I know some of you guys have been asking for quite a while. Since the announcement of this WWE 12 game, a lot of you guys have been messaging me, commenting, on random videos, commenting on my page, asking for pretty much just my impressions and my thoughts on the game, because I pretty much did the same thing last year. First of all, I mean, if you're not really a fan of wrestling or the wrestling game, stuff like that, then you don't have to watch this video, because it's more of me kind of critiquing and stuff like that. And I understand that some of you guys might not be into that, so really you don't have to comment and say anything retarded or anything like that. You just don't have to watch the video, but I realized that I did a lot of SmackDown versus Raw stuff, so I figured I would do pretty much the same thing that I did last year, which kind of sucks. I was hoping that maybe I would be able to go to E3 or, in some way, shape, or form have a hands-on with this new game, because last year I pretty much did the same thing I'm doing right now, which was just pretty much analyzing, leaked footage, any kind of footage that was given to us, any kind of information that was given to us through articles, interviews, stuff like that. I haven't really checked out too many interviews, but, anything like that, and I would just pretty much compile all my thoughts together and put them in a video. And a lot of those videos I sent to Machinima Sports, but since I don't really send much to them anymore, I, just doing it right here on my channel. So, obviously, the name change, WWE 12, beforehand with the surveys and everything, I did videos on these surveys that THQ would put out, about the future of the game and all that, and I actually did videos discussing my picks and stuff for the survey. They actually changed the name up from SmackDown vs. Raw, and it's now just WWE and then the year. Just putting it flat out, straight up, out there right now, I'm not really impressed with the game. And, obviously I'll go into detail more in a bit with why I think, how I think, but, just with 2011, I thought 2011, it was an alright game, but it's just like, at this point in the game, I don't know. At this point in the game, I'm seeing what other sports titles are doing. I'm seeing what, what FIFA, those guys are bringing to the table. I'm seeing NBA, and I'm seeing the stellar reviews that NBA is getting. I'm seeing how people, I don't play these games, but I'm seeing how people are saying how there's so much content put in those games. I still see people play NBA to this day. Like, people are still playing that all year round. And for the SmackDown vs. Raws, I just don't see enough content, or, well, there is actually enough content, but the content isn't done well enough to keep me occupied all year round, which is obviously what you want from one of these yearly titles. You want enough content, not only enough content, but I guess, within that content, it has to be up to par quality-wise to keep you entertained for the entire year. So I'm pretty cautious about my thoughts on WWE 12. I'm not going to get insanely excited over the game because, to be honest, from what has been shown, I see more reason right now to go buy Day of Reckoning, go buy a GameCube and buy Day of Reckoning than I do to pick up WWE 12. As of right now, I understand that it's in beta or whatever, alpha, whatever it is. It's an early build of the game that they're showing off, and they're saying that there's going to be a lot of fixes. They, once again, don't have Minitrons in there. Well, they have a few, I guess, the ones from last year, but just like last year, those weren't implemented until later on in the stages. And obviously a lot of, I guess, if there is any new modes, those haven't been announced yet. And I think they kind of went really soft on the opening of announcing the game, because coming out of the 2011 game and all the future, all the past SmackDown games, the main thing is that the games are just like horrible, and that people don't care about them anymore. Most of the time, when you see a new trailer for a WWE game, or you see gameplay for a new WWE game, most of the comments are just like, oh, this is the same shit, different year, it's horrible, it's gay, stop making these games already. So, coming into WWE 12, I think they really, other than just this Predator technology thing, I think they really should have at least announced a new game mode or just something new with the game to get you hyped, because, like I said, there's not really any reason to get this game just yet. I mean, they haven't given me, at least personally, any reason to get this game just yet. So far, it looks just like 2011, except there's a few little things here and there that have been changed up. The camera angles, there's a lot more camera angles compared to last year. Some of the camera angles that I've seen, kind of, I don't know. Some of the cameras that I seen, though, at the same time, were really good looking, like some of the close-up ones, some of the handy-cam ones that I had seen. Those look really good, but I seen one that kind of looked like it was on a crane or something like that, like a zoomed-out one, and that one looked disgusting. That camera angle looked nasty, and I hope that one doesn't pop in, or if it was just like a bug or something like that, I don't know. But that one looked nasty. So yeah, like the graphics, they don't really look much different at all. I know it's been said that this Predator technology supposedly gives a better quality to the skin and stuff like that, but honestly, I don't see it. Just looking at the gameplay, I don't really see it. Again, could be early build, I don't know. But it seems like the whole premise around this game is just flushing out the stuff that they already have built into the game. They actually said, and I guess they went on record to say, that they haven't removed any modes, they haven't removed pretty much anything from the game, which I guess a lot of people are kind of just giving this relief, but I'm not counting anything until the game is actually in my hands and I can go through each and every one of those movesets. I can go through all the moves, I can go through all the modes, and I see that everything is still there intact. One of the things is there's no PS2 or PSP version of the game, which I guess some people are looking at it as, that these games won't be held back anymore by those two systems, so I don't really know. I don't know how much that has to do with it. I don't know if they have different teams developing it for different consoles or what. So, I don't know. I can't really say about that. They added in this new depth of field thing for the background. By the way, I'll probably have some random gameplay in the background showing here. I actually checked out a live stream of the gameplay. I haven't really looked too much into the gameplay, which is why I didn't really do a video on it until today, when they did a live stream of the gameplay stuff that they showed off at E3. So now I figured I would just go ahead and give my impressions of the game itself right now. But so yeah, I guess the main thing that I had noticed right off the bat that they announced was that the controls are going back to the face buttons. And if you guys remember, I believe I said this back in my survey videos, that I wanted that to happen. That was the main thing that I wanted, the face buttons to be pretty much the central hub for the controls, and hopefully targeting will be the right thumbstick. I believe that's how it is in All-Stars, but the control scheme in All-Stars fits really well, and just bringing that over will pretty much do it justice, I think, control scheme wise. Speaking of the control scheme wise, though, the new submission, so-called new submission system. This isn't really a new submission system at all. It's just another button mashing one, which I believe is one of the, I think it was like Type A in the older SmackDowns. There was a Type A, there was a Type B. Type B was like the one where it's going back and forth and you just have to hit it at the right time. Type A was pretty much just mashing buttons. And for the life of me, I don't understand why. Why would you go with a system like that? Granted, it's better than the struggle submission. The struggle submission system is terrible. That is just garbage. But doing it with the button mashing and stuff, they're online. Like I said before, the SmackDown versus Raw community, at least online wise, is so horrid that there's so many cheaters, so many spammers. There's turbo controller users, and nothing ever happens to these people. So what they need to do is get rid of the portions of the game where you're forced to button mash, and having a submission system in the game where you have to button mash. Everyone and their mom is just going to be using a turbo controller, and guaranteed you're going to come to matches online where someone will just put one hold on you real quick, and if you're not using a turbo controller, you're going to tap out just like that within like 2 seconds of the match. And that happens, like even in player matches, even in matches that aren't ranked, people will still go to extreme lengths just to win for some reason. I should just go on there, because I don't really play 2011 too much now, but I should just randomly go on there and just do a few regular player matches, and you'll probably be able to see just how cheap people are on there. But I'm sure the people that still play it to this day know what I'm talking about, though. So just adding in that submission system that you have to mash your hand all up and mash the buttons, that is just kind of dumb to me. And I think that the submission system that should have been added was the one from Day of Reckoning, where it was I mean, there was a portion where you had to tap like crazy, but the main portion of the submission system in Day of Reckoning was like you would move the analog stick either up, down, left, or right, and up, down, left, or right, those would be 4 different types of submission. It would be like taunt, like rest submission, drain, and then it was like another one. And if the opponent chose it right, then they would automatically reverse it. And if you chose it right, then you would apply the submission to whatever the type was that you chose. That, I think, would have worked as long as they tweaked it a little bit, so that way they didn't have, maybe instead of the button mashing, just have like a quick time event or something like that. As much as I hate quick time events, at least it's better than just button mashing, because button mashing, like I said, it just encourages people to use turbo controllers, which sucks. So, not really liking this whole submission system idea. They confirmed that WWE Universe would return, WWE Universe 2.0, haven't really given much information about it, except the main complaint from 2011 was that you couldn't defend your titles at any moment that you wanted. And what's funny is they didn't say that that's gone now. They didn't say that that you can defend your titles at any time. What they said was that they heard the complaints and that they fixed it to a point, to an extent. So I'm thinking what they're probably going to do is just let you use like Money in the Bank or something like that to defend it at any time, something like that. They're probably still not going to let you defend the title anytime you choose. That's just what I'm thinking, because they didn't just flat out confirm that, now you can defend it at any time. I don't know, but that's just kind of what I'm predicting. Along with WWE Universe 2.0, they said that Road to WrestleMania would return. I think that's a downer. I really don't like Road to WrestleMania. I think that's just a horrid mode, and that they should just scrape that and go with a traditional season, and just throw everything. Maybe even not, like, just scrape Road to WrestleMania and then convert Universe into more of a season, and just focus all of the attention on Universe, and all the attention, all the assets, all of the funds, and all that. Just put it all into Universe, rather than divide it up and have 2 modes that are just kind of half-assed, because you have to, design them separately. Why not just put them together and just design one central mode that's just really, built up really well? That's what I'm thinking, but I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with Road to WrestleMania. I'm just not too happy that that's returning. Superstar Threads has been confirmed to be back, and what's funny is they recently said that there's going to be 2 Randy Ortons in the game, because they actually went out of their way to see if they have enough resources and have enough, I guess, time on their hands to put Randy Orton in with his beard, his current look, how he has it now. And I think that's just kind of a waste of, a waste of money, a waste of time, because stuff like that could be put into Superstar Threads. And this was an idea that I had last year. I don't know if I said it in the video or not, but with Superstar Threads, I think it would be amazing to flush out Superstar Threads with past parts of other people. So, example, No Mercy, you could pretty much customize a person from head to toe in whatever you want. Obviously, they don't want that anymore. They don't want you to put Triple H in a tutu or anything like that. But what they could do is add Triple H specific parts to Triple H's Superstar Threads, like, he's had different elbow pads and different knee pads, different tights. You could have like maybe 3 or 4 variations of his tights in Superstar Threads, let people pick between them. So then you don't really need to have alternate attires. You can pretty much make your own. And at the same time, you could also have a portion of his face that could be edited up a little bit, and you could have maybe his handlebar mustache. You could have him clean shaven. You can have him with the full beard. Just doing those 3 different options for his face pretty much gives you 3 different eras of Triple H. And the same could be done for, say, The Rock. Say you want The Rock with his full tribal tattoo. You could do that in Superstar Threads. If you don't want where it extends over to his chest, because there was a portion where he just had it on his arm, you can just have that portion on his arm. If you want him to just have his, goatee from that time where he had a goatee, sideburns, no sideburns, bald, not bald, full hair, Jerry curls, like when he first debuted, stuff like that. All those, like, pretty much character-specific parts that could be added to Superstar Threads, people could pretty much mix and match those, and you'll still have all these different variations of that person, different variations of that superstar. You could have Zack Ryder with his short hair, or you could have him with his long hair back when he was an edgehead. You could have him with his, like, really bleach blonde hair when he was a Major Brother. You could, just having those options in Superstar Threads would actually make Superstar Threads worth a damn, instead of it just being pretty much changing colors. So something like that with Orton, they could have just added to Superstar Threads, just added like his beard as an option on his face in Superstar Threads, so that way, if he ever was to shave it, which probably is bound to happen, then you just go into Superstar Threads and you can take it off. Same thing, sometimes he's not wearing any wristbands, sometimes he is. There was a portion of time where he just wasn't wearing any wristbands at all. Go into Superstar Threads, remove the wristbands. Puts them back on, go in there, and put them back on. That way you can pretty much keep your game up to date. And that's something that I think should definitely be added into Superstar Threads.